Welcome back. In this lesson, we will talk about how to read and write files. Why we need read and write files? Because all what ransomware do is read files and encrypt the data in those files, then write the data on the same files after encrypting it. Okay, here how to read and write in files. First, you should import OS module. Then you type with and open. Then you type R and here double quote, and here you type the path of the files you want to read. Here the path of the file, comma, single or double quotation. Here the mode of write or read, according what you want to do. If you wanted to write, use the write mode. If you wanted to read, use the read mode. Here you do an alias as if. Then column, and below here you type if dot read if you want to read, or if dot write if you want to write from the file. Read and write without putting a number inside these parentheses will read the whole files and write in the whole file. But if you type here 10, this will read only 10 characters from the file. And also if we write here 15, this will also write only 15 characters on this files. So you can specify the number of characters. So let's type here read and write all data from or to the file. But here you read only ten characters, or write 15 characters. And you can also write or read a line by typing this if dot read line. This will read only one line. And you can also specify the number of lines you want to read. Here the numbers of lines. Read in lines. And also like read, you can write on lines like this. Write lines and specify the number of lines you want to read. Write in lines. Okay. This is the syntax of reading and writing in files. Let's see an example. We here have this folder. In this folder, we have a text file and MP4 which is video file, and here an application which is exe file. First, let's read this text which have those information or those strings. How to read the file? Just type with open, then R double quotes, the file path. Let's get the file path. Then type here the file name. You will notice that the file name appear here. This is the file name. And the file and code, this is text file, so it has txt extension. Then type as if. Sorry, we have forgot the mode of the operation, which is we wanted to read, so we type R. If you want to read and write, type plus. R plus mean read and write. R only, like this, mean read only from the file. If you type plus, this mean read and write. It's here. Type f dot. First, we want to read the data from the file and store this data in a text variable called text. And we wanted to print this data to see it in the terminal or the editor of Python. Text. Let's execute and see the result. Here you will notice that all the data inside the files has been printed. So in the file and see the data, here is all the data printed. And also you can do the same with the video and the exe file, which is application. But you should notice that because this is a text file, the data inside this text is known like English, like normal English word. You can read this data because it's an English language. But this video and this application and also any type of data except the text files and Excel files, the text files and Word files, you can't identify this data because it will become encoded or a byte data, which you can't understand it. Let's try and see the result. Here is the second file. Let's take its name, this video, and read this video, and it has the extension MP4. Let's execute and see the result. There is an error. Why? Because we here type R, not RP. You should type here read binary. RB mean read binary. So you should specify always the name, the mode of dealing with file as RP plus, which mean read binary plus reading binary. Let's execute. Here you will see that the data, this data, is encrypted by byte. You can't understand this data. Why? Because it's not a normal language or a normal English. It's an encrypted form by byte. And also the same will happen with the application or exe file. Okay, let's try with the txt file here to see some function. Here we type read, and we learned but that r plus or the existing of a plus sign mean read and write, and the existing of b is mean binary. So let's here change this to write and type a text which we want to write on the file. Let's type 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Let's type this text in the file and print the text after typing this text. Okay, writing, not return any value like read. Returning the data that the method read, but write, don't return anything. Let's execute. Here's an error. What error mean? This error mean you read the data as binary. This data is a normal English and you read it as binary. It's okay. But the problem here, you wanted to write a normal text beside the binary, and this can't happen. So you should here change this data and type B. Let's see here the program executed successfully and the data right in the file. Let's see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 is written in the file. Okay, you will notice here that the data is written at the beginning of the file. If you wanted to write this data at the end of the file, just change this to append mode. What happened with the cursor? Not work. Sorry. Change this to append mode. And because we use a normal append, not binary, so we can type a normal language. Let's execute and open the file again. You will notice that this text 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 is written at the end of the file because you use the append mode. Okay, if you wanted to write at any position of the file, let's suppose you wanna to write here or here, so you should know the index of this place and tell it to a function called seek to change the pointer to this position, then write in this position. Let's see. Here we will change the append mode to write mode because append add only at the end of the file. Then we wanted to read this file. Okay. Then we wanted to write. To write, let's store the data we read here in text. We want to write in the file. Write, eliminate all the data in the file and write after eliminating the data. So the new data which write is the data you will find in the file, but the old data will remove. So we read the file and we will print the data before the position, then the data we want, then the data after the position to see the result. Here, the text, which have all the data in the file. We wanted to read this data until the position 38. Then print, then added this text, then the data after the position 38 to the end of the text. Let's see the result. Let's see first what is the data inside this file. Yes, there is the data. Execute the program. Not readable. Why not readable? Maybe because this file is open. Yes, because we use a write mode only. We should change this to write to read plus. Okay, let's open the file. Here also the same problem. Why? We will see. Read binary and transfer this to binary. And decode or encode this data. Where is encode? We want to encode this data. Let's add a data here. In the file we wanted to use it, this is the file, and save and execute. It has no attribute encode. Did you mean decode? Let's see decode and decode. Should mean not working. Why? Let's see this. Transfer it. Okay, it should work. Here is the result. You will notice that this text, we read the text. Okay. Here we forgot something. To move the cursor to the position we want using a seek function. To 38. Okay. Let's here. Delete this. Should add the position 38. See the result. Let's run and open the file again. Where is 38? Yes, this is the position 38. You will notice that this text is added here. The next function is closing the file. How to close the file? Here we do a modification on the file. So you should close the file after doing any modification on this file using f.close. Here let's see. Here is also the same text is added here and the file is closed. there is also a function called till. What is the job of this function? This function used to tell us the position of the cursor. Here, after we write data on the file, let's see where is the cursor and print the position of the cursor. Just wait a second and execute. The cursor at the end of the file, which is 362 character. By this, we have reached to the end of the lesson. See you in the next lessons.